A detective dog. There once was a dog with a keen sense of smell. She was known far and wide as Detective Dog Nell. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Time after time, Nell the detective solved crime after crime. Who threw the hazelnuts down from the trees? Who took the honey away from the bees? Who left the poop on the new gravel path? How did the spider get into the bath? Sniff, sniff, a sniff, with a wag of her tail, Nell the detective was hot on the trail. Nell shared her house with a person called Peter, a very nice child, though he could have been neater. He kept on misplacing his clothes and his toys. Sniff, 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 nose to the ground. These are the things that Detective Dog found. The bus in the bowl and the book in the bed. The sock in the sofa. The shoe in the shed. The tumble down teddy. The bounce away ball. The detective discovered them all. Now Nell did detection from Tuesday till Sunday, but did something totally different each Monday. She found Peter's bag and tracked down her lead, and set off for school while she heard children read. The children loved reading their stories to Nell. Sniff, 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 mixed in the air were Play-Doh and pudding and newly washed hair. The crust and the trash and the coats on the hooks. But the best smell of all was the smell of the books. Books about dinosaurs, books about knights, books about planets and meteorites, books about princes who turned into frogs, books about dragons and books about dogs. But then came a Monday when all was not well. Nell sniffed the air and smelled the wrong smell. Into the classroom the two of them hurried, and found Mr. Jones looking terribly worried. He tugged at his hair and let out a sigh. Peter looked round, and he started to cry. Sniff, 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 what was going on? The books, cried Peter, the books are all gone. Nell gave a growl when she heard the bad news, but then started sniffing and searching for clues. Sniff, 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 on the bookshelf, a cat. The thief must have dropped it, the terrible chat. Now sniffed the cat, then she tugged on the lead, and whoof, she was off at astonishing speed. Everyone followed Detective Dog Nell. She stopped at the traffic light. What could she smell? Sniff, 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 haddock and hay, pizza and penguins and father away. The smell of the thief and how everything exciting, thousands of pages all covered in writing. Then whoof, they were off with no time for a stop, past the farm and the zoo and the fry and pie shop. They raced through a field where the rabbits smelled good, then raced over a golf course and into the wood. Then they thrashed through the undergrowth, leafy and dense, till they came to a gate in the old wooden fence. Then Nell started growling and pricked up an ear. She barked, and the bark meant thief is in here. They flung the gate open, and Peter cried, "Look!" For their side man was his nose in the book. There were many more books poking out of a sack, and the children yelled, "Those are our books! Give them back!" Sniff, 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 The book thief looked sad. I'm sorry, he sniffled. I know I've been bad. Stealing is wrong, but I just meant to borrow. I was planning to give all the books back tomorrow. To borrow? To borrow? Nell pricked up an ear. She barked, and the bark meant, I've got an idea. Then whoosh, it was off, and away they all sped, including the book thief who told them, I'm Ted. Sniff, 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 they raced through the wood, and all over the field where the rabbits smelled good. They panted and puffed past the fry pie shop and the zoo and the farmyard with never a stop, except to retrieve Peter's scarf and his ball, which someone had thoughtfully placed on a wall. Till they came to a building with doors open wide, and what did they see when they all went inside? Books. Thousands of books from the floor to the ceiling. He gazed at in amazement. Where am I? He said, and Peter replied, I'm in the library, Ted. You can join if you want to. There isn't a fee. And then you can take lots of books out for free. So Ted has a lovely new library card. He sits reading books in his little backyard. And when it's a Monday, Detective Dog Nell visits the school with a wonderful smell. Sniff, sniff, sniff with a faraway look. She smells and she listens to book after book. Books about dinosaurs, books about knights, books about planets and meteorites, books about prisons who turn into frogs, books about dragons, and books about dogs, and the old books and a new one as well. The story of darling Detective Dog Nell. The end.